Hello, today I'd like to speak about a concept that's come up over the last couple of days, and that is that acceptance is the first step towards making change and growth. And somebody actually challenged me on this and said that it's not acceptance, but rather recognition that should be the first step. So let's take a look at that and what it means. Recognition comes from awareness, and awareness is the feeling that you get when something is not right. Recognition is recognizing that feeling and knowing that you're in a situation that needs to change. But until you accept it, until you really internalize it, nothing is going to affect a change. So let's talk about acceptance. Acceptance is not just knowing that you have to make a change and be willing to make it, it's also recognizing what the consequences of that change will be and what will happen on the other side of that change. So you may be in situations that are causing you internal turmoil, that are causing stress and pressure and sadness and anger and frustration and anxiety and a general sense of unease. And those are not healthy situations to be in. They can stem from struggles at work with a colleague or a boss or an HR department that you can't fully go to. It can stem from domestic situations at home with your loved ones, your spouse, child, sibling, parent. It could be your in-laws. It could be friends who are unsupportive or who have betrayed you. It could be with a professional that you're working with that is not giving you the results that you need, such as a doctor or accountant or a lawyer. It could be anything and everything. So whatever is causing you to feel like you cannot control yourself, to feel like you're losing your mind, to feel like you cannot do this any longer, like you're trapped, like there's no way out, it's hopeless. Those are all feelings that shouldn't be going on with you. And so they need to be resolved and eliminated. And in order to do that, you need to accept that fact, fully accept it, a 360 of what has led up to this, what is going on now, and what it's going to look like after you've made a change. And it could be more than one change. It could be several things that you do and taking it in small steps. But something at some point has got to give. And oftentimes we stay in a situation because we're afraid of what it's going to be when it's no longer there. So when you have a situation that needs to change and you find yourself on the other side and you're saying, well, this isn't exactly what I signed up for, at least you're no longer facing the challenges that you were facing before. And that's a really important thing to remember. And when the dust settles, you have to live with yourself, and everyone else has to live with your decisions as well, because you're not the only one that's living this situation. It could be other people at your work or at your home or in your personal life or professional life that may be affected by the change that you make. If you need to move, if you need to change jobs, if you need to change your income, if you need to, change your circle of friends or at least make it smaller, these are all things that will affect other people and not just you. So sometimes all of those fears are what lead us to sweep our feelings under the rug and to minimize the negative effects it has on us. And so what we do is we tend to rationalize them, and then we tend to let it build and build and build and build and build internally until they erupt. And at that point, the change that's going to be made may come involuntarily. Somebody else might make the decision for you. Somebody else might make the decision for themselves that will affect you. And you really don't want that. You want to be in control of what happens in your life. So in order to move forward and to grow in a healthy way, you need to accept that you are the one that needs to make that change. So let's talk about accepting that. I think that if you've had a journal that you've written in and put down your thoughts and feelings, from the days or weeks leading up to the point where you felt like you needed to make a change. Those are great ways to reflect back on and to really decide how and what way you need to make a change. And then if you've confided in somebody, you can go back to them and they can help you recall those feelings and those emotions and those experiences that you've shared with them, because you may not have that clarity. An external person will always see things a little bit differently than you yourself will view them when you're inside the situation. And you may go to a therapist. You may have already spoken with one, so you can explore the different options that you have in making changes. You can have a pros and cons list where you weigh the pros and cons against each other and see in what way you want to move forward. But in any way that you choose, you can have 1 to up to 3 different scenarios of how things can play out. And then you can decide which one would be the best for you and which outcome would be most beneficial for you and less damaging, because we don't want to stay in a situation that controls us. We want to always be in control of our feelings, our emotions, and our state of mind, so that we don't negatively take it out on other people that we shouldn't, and that we don't make decisions that are not good for us. And sometimes the things that we say and do can be viewed as unstable or irrational, and it can damage our reputation, or it can put us in a bad light. So we never want to risk doing that. We always want to minimize the damage and maximize the benefits and the positive outcomes that are going to happen when we do make a change. So there are ways that you can also learn about. You can go online and research other people that have been through similar situations and how they've resolved them and what happened. You can reach for self-help books. You can speak with people who are educated enough and are qualified enough to give you a sense of direction. And then you can make an educated choice and decision on how you want to move forward. But no matter how it plays out and where you land on the other side, it has got to be better than living in a state of fear, anxiousness, uneasiness. That cannot be a healthy way to live. And you know that. You're aware of that. You recognize that. You just need to accept it. So with that, if you've had any experiences that you were able to overcome that you would like to share with other people so that they may learn from it, please put them in the comments and we can support each other that way. But I hope that whatever situation you're in, if it's negative, it is resolved as soon as possible so that you're able to live a healthy and productive life. And I wish you all a great day, and we'll see you next time.